Welcome back to my channel. I am here today with a mega haul. This is a big one. This is a doozy from Walt Disney World in September, Halloween Horror Nights also in September, and Disneyland from our November trip. So I've hoarded all of my stuff. I haven't used any of my souvenirs for 6 months now. And I am here today to share with you, and I kind of fixed my setup a little bit, tried to do something a little different. Let me know if you'll like it. Let me just get that out of the screen. Professional. I am fighting the light right now. This is the downside of having a full-time job now, is that I rushed home from work and got this all set up to film. So let's go ahead and jump into it before it gets too dark. So I think we should start with Walt Disney World items, because as we all know, I am a huge Epcot fan, and it was food and wine during our September trip, so I got a lot of food and wine items. So let's start off with the free item, and that is the food and wine program. You get these at any of the kiosks, and now this year they added stickers. So instead of having to go get a stamp, you can just add your own stickers, so it makes the lines move a lot faster with the food booths. And then here's all the leftover stickers that we didn't use. If you watched my vlogs from that trip, then you know that we only had one day at Epcot to do food and wine, and it started storming around 5 p.m. So we didn't get to do any more of the food carts. I think we only got to 4 or 5 before the skies opened, and we had a torrential downpour for the rest of the evening. So sadly, food and wine was very short this year, but we still had a lot of fun. I also had to get my Figment pen, which I will zoom in for you guys. But it is the limited release Food and Wine Figment pen. Plus, I can't resist any Figment merch. So I got a second Figment pen that when you open it, it has Figment and it's a spinner. Spin for me, Figment. It also has a little recipe. It says ingredients for Figment: 1 dash of magic, 9 pinches of imagination, 82 sprinkles of character, because you know, 1982. You get it? You get it? And that's how you make Figment. So I thought that was adorable. Had to get that one. And then this one isn't even technically mine, but I wanted to show it in the haul before I send it off to its rightful owner. And that's this Kronk pen from Emperor's New Groove, also food and wine themed. And he's got his little spinach puffs, or spanakopita. And this is going out to the Mister from the Disney Double Dose, because they weren't sure if they were going to make it for food and wine or if these were going to be available. So I made sure to get this for him. So then our next food and wine item is this mug, Figment. Figment mug from Food and Wine. It has a little spoon so you can stir your coffee. Thought it was adorable, and you guys know I can't resist anything Figment related and food and wine. I do wish there was something down here, because some of the Flower and Garden ones are starting to put a little something down the bottom, but still very cute. So I believe the last item from Food and Wine, because you guys already saw the Figment ornament that we got, is this Food and Wine t-shirt. And then the back is really cool because it has all the booths and when they were introduced. I will say that this shirt is very large. Larger than I expected, and I wish I'd tried it on while I was there. And it's not as long. If you saw my Flower and Garden crazy mishap, then it's not like that. It's not crazy long. It's just kind of baggy. But good comfy around the house shirt, so now I can actually wear it. And then my last item is actually technically a gift. Steffi and Dave from Crispy S'more were also in Florida at the same time as us during our trip, and they spotted this at the outlets, and it's from the Disneyland Diamond celebration, their 60th anniversary. And I actually went to Disneyland twice last year during the anniversary, but they got this for a whopping $5.99, which is awesome, at the outlets. So thanks to Dave and Steffi for this. Now I can actually use it, and I love it. It was so nice of them to offer to get it for me, since they were already at the outlets, and now I have another souvenir from the 60th anniversary, and we'll always think of them when I use it. Oh! I almost forgot these! So these were my other purchase on this trip. I got them at Hollywood Studios. Also from the Diamond Collection, actually, so I'm, you know, again, Disneyland twice during the celebration, so I wish they were on sale, but they weren't. So this is my souvenir from the second day. I really didn't buy much the second day at all. I think it was just these. That pretty much ends the Walt Disney World portion of the September trip, and now we transition over to Halloween Horror Nights, which is where I spent most of my money because aside from food and wine and that, I am obsessed with Halloween Horror Nights. If you've been here for a while, you guys know that. I actually resisted most of the merchandise mainly because the item that I really wanted sold out before I even got there, and I was there the second weekend. Is that crazy or what? Let me remove these because I'm pretty sure it's blasphemy to wear these while talking about Halloween Horror Nights. So I wasn't as thrilled with the merchandise this year as I was in 2015 when I purchased pretty much everything. So I guess it's a kind of a good thing because I saved some money. But here's what I got at Halloween Horror Nights 26. So first of all, as you guys just saw, we stayed at Cabana Bay Resort, which is my favorite resort at Universal. I really love the 60s, so to me this is just my favorite place to be, and now I equate it with Halloween Horror Nights, so it's just the best to me. I got my souvenir cup, which you guys saw in the vlog, and then I also got my Cabana Bay pen, which I will zoom in to show you guys, but loved that they had the Cabana Bay pen. I also got this Michael Myers pen. I think I said in the video I was going to get him. He's just cute. I love Halloween. The Halloween houses, while I'm not normally an IP person at Horror Nights, both of them have been really enjoyable and I've gotten really good scares in them. So I had to get my little Michael Myers. And then I also got the traditional Halloween Horror Nights lanyard, which is just, you know, mandatory for any trip to Horror Nights. And this one's really nice because it's reversible. It had Chance on this side and then kind of her little more fancy logo on this side. Halloween Horror Nights logo with my pass still in here as a souvenir. If you're a Halloween Horror Nights fan like me, then you probably know exactly what I'm about to show. If you are not a Halloween Horror Nights person, then you probably don't know the joy of Blinky cups. Wait for it. It's nice, right? You got You Don't Stand a Chance, you got Scary Chance, and then so if you've been to Horror Nights, you know everyone walks around drinking beverages out of Blinky cups, and it's just part of the tradition. I've got a lot of these. Does normal. And this past year they had different LED lights, so you could get red. I think there was like a purplish blue and orange. However, every single one that Mike and I got happened to get red. Downside of Blinky cups is that they usually get dropped at least once. So yeah, mine has a nice little chip out of it, but that's just because you have to carry it around all night. But you get drink discounts, so that's why everyone gets them. It's like $10. It probably went up, but about $10 for your first drink, and then the drinks after that are discounted. So word to the wise, if you're going to Halloween Horror Nights for your first time, just know you have to get a Blinky cup. But my new thing for souvenirs are Tervis cups, because I use these things all the time. I have a Tervis with me almost all the time when I'm at home. I've just started using a fake Yeti to take to work, but prior to that I was taking Tervises to work and I'd have my morning beverage. I don't know that I would choose this one to go to work with because I'm pretty sure my coworkers would think I was insane. I've only been working there for a month, so they don't really know my Halloween obsession or my Horror Nights obsession quite yet. So I'm pretty sure they'd be freaked out if I walked in. But for around the house, I like it a lot, and I'll probably just take my flower and garden or my Harry Potter Tervis to work and not get strange looks. And then the final item that you must get if you go to Halloween Horror Nights, that's tradition, is the house shirt for the year. So this year's was just a nice plain logo on the front, which I know people were upset about this, that they took away. It used to always have some sort of like letters in blood across the chest, and people were upset that they were breaking tradition. Personally, I'm a big fan of it because I'm much more likely to wear this than the blood letters. But I will tell you that I never wear the house shirts because that blood lettering is so heavy and just stiff, and I just don't like wearing it in public. I feel like I get strange looks. If you're in Orlando, it's one thing, but walking around Texas wearing blood on your shirt, people look at you funny. So here's all the different houses for this past year. So those are the Horror Nights traditions. You have to get a Blinky cup and the house shirt. Once you have those, you can say you've been to Horror Nights. So that is it for the September trip, and now we can move on to Disneyland. I was good and did not purchase too much at Disneyland because we'd already been there earlier in the year and we'd already spent some money to get there, and that was kind of my birthday trip, was getting to go. So I didn't really want to buy too much stuff. However, two of the items I purchased were items that I wanted the first trip and never got. So those were two things that had been on my mind and I had to get. So the first item is going to be my Matterhorn pen. So I do collect Disney pens and I wanted to find something that was Disneyland specific to remember the trip by. And we rode the Matterhorn 3 times during this trip. It was quite a few times because the line was very short. So I got my Matterhorn pen, and that's something obviously that's only at Disneyland. So love that. And then pretty much the best thing at Disneyland, well, I don't know. Hyperspace Mountain is pretty amazing. There, Thunder Mountain. Okay, nix that thought. The best thing at California Adventure is Cars Land, and that area is just absolutely amazing. I will tell anyone, if you've not been to Disneyland, you need to go just to go see Cars Land because it's just fantastic. So we spent a lot of oh, it's getting real dark. I better hurry up. We spent a lot of time at Cars Land because we absolutely love it, and we didn't get to spend enough time there in January, and it was just absolutely beautiful when we were there because it was hot, but the skies were blue and it just made Cars Land absolutely gorgeous. So we spent quite a bit of time there, and thus I got 2 different souvenirs from Cars Land. I got this bottle opener that's also a magnet so you can go on your fridge. And then I also got this magnet from the Cozy Cone Motel. So now this one actually makes me a little sad, but also a little happy. These are Soarin' Fast Passes that are my souvenir from the trip. If you watch the vlogs, then you know that I got to meet Jordan and Rachel, who were originally 2 of my subscribers, and now I'm subscribed to them and watch their vlogs all the time. They are locals and they do Disneyland vlogs all the time, and they saw that I was going to be there and they wanted to come out. So they brought me this really cute little birthday card, and then they picked up Soarin' passes for Mike and I because they knew we didn't have them yet. So we got to hang out with them for a little bit. So we had full intention of using these that they gave us because we were excited just to go see the Soarin' one more time because it's right before it converted. And then through a friend who will remain nameless, but you know who you are if you're watching this, we had the opportunity to ride Tower of Terror, the last check-in or whatever it was when they were doing the ride in the dark. And we basically had to choose between doing that or doing this. And I absolutely love them, and I truly felt bad. Mike can vouch for me. I was sitting there like grappling with the idea of skipping out on doing this because I knew Jordan and Rachel went out of their way to get this for me, but also really wanted to do the Tower of Terror experience because I knew it was going away. So in the end, we decided to do Tower of Terror because that is not something that would happen again, and Soarin' had been an experience that we've done before in Florida, and I consoled myself with that decision by the fact that I was going to get to keep the fast passes as a souvenir, as a memory of them going out of their way to be so kind to us. So Jordan and Rachel, just know that these are with me permanently now, and I have a collection of old fast passes from Florida from trips that we, ironically quite a few from Soarin' because usually you would get them no matter what. And it says right there, Tuesday, November 8th, 2016, so I'll always remember the day that I got to meet them and that I had such an amazing time at Disneyland. So now the next item you may have seen in previous videos of mine. He's been hanging out in my little office where I get ready, and obviously this is Thumper. There's a story behind him. While we were in Disneyland in January for the Star Wars Half Marathon, we rode the Winnie the Pooh ride, and when you come out of the Winnie the Pooh ride, you enter straight into a gift shop. Shocker, Disney, I know. But they had all sorts of treats, and they had a bunch of stuffed animals, and I saw Thumper, and I grappled with the idea of getting Thumper. And it wasn't this Thumper, for the record. It was just a more traditional looking Thumper. And I thought about him and I thought about him, and eventually I was like, no, I'm 30 years old. I don't need to go home with a Thumper. And I convinced myself I didn't need him. And then we got home and I was like, oh, but that Thumper. I knew when we went on this trip that I was going to go into that particular shop and get Thumper. So the first day of the trip, we went in, we rode Winnie the Pooh. I go into the gift shop, and lo and behold, in the 9 months since we've been there, there are no more traditional Thumpers. The traditional Thumpers are gone, and this is what's in his place. Now I will be the first to admit, cover his ears while I say this, I'll be the first to admit that I don't really think he's as cute as the traditional Thumper, but don't tell him. He's a little weird, right? Oops, sorry, I probably cover his ears less. He's a little weird looking. His eyes are a little crazy, but it was the whole thing of I had planned to go in there and get Thumper. So I was going to leave with the Thumper no matter what. So this is my Thumper now, and I mean, he is cute. His feet and everything are cute. It's just not what I had envisioned. So we are down to the very last item of this haul, which is good because I am in a completely different setting than when I started this video. Oh yay. So this item has a story to it too. During the January trip, if you watched probably any of my videos there, you know that I desperately wanted the traditional Disneyland hoodie. I saw a bunch of people wearing them while we were there. I just loved the logo. It was actually cold while we were there. I wanted it. So of course, they were sold out of it. They had nothing left. The first day we were there, they still had like smalls and mediums, and I hesitated on it. I was like, nah, we'll come back later. I still want to look around and decide if I truly want that. The next day they were gone. You could not find a single sweatshirt of this variety in any store on property. Trust me, I looked at every single store on property because I could not believe this had happened. So you better believe that the first thing I did when we got there in November was look in a gift store to see if they had them. Literally, we got on Main Street and I like curved us to a store to go see if they had them, and thankfully they had racks and racks of them, probably because it was 100 degrees during this trip. But I finally got my Disneyland sweatshirt. I know you guys have seen me wear this already because this one has been getting worn during winter because I absolutely love it, and could not wear it on that trip because like I said it was 100 degrees, but it was so nice to finally get that sweatshirt when I wanted it so badly. And they don't sell it online. That's the other key point. You can't buy it online. You have to be there in person. So very excited to have this and my Thumper now so that my heart can rest easy and I'm like, have closure on Disneyland now and can move on with my life. So that is it, and it's a good thing because I'm, you know, any later and I'm gonna have to get a flashlight on my face. So that is it. That is the end of the Disney Universal Halloween Horror Nights and Disneyland haul. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I try not to do too many hauls on my channel, so I figured I'd just combine this all together. And you guys seem to enjoy them anyway, so I don't mind doing them every once in a while. I just don't like to do them too much. That is going to wrap things up for this haul. Next week, I am planning to do a video about my Epcot tattoo, which you can go watch me get the tattoo. I can never remember which spot, so this is my disco dance. And point to both sides, so you can go watch that video of me getting the tattoo in preparation for next week's video. And then after that, we are going to start the February Florida trip that I just did with my mom for the Festival of the Arts. So tattoo video next week, and then we kick off with another Disney trip right after that on Fridays. And as always, Mondays will be my weekly vlogs. So I hope you guys enjoyed this haul with me and Thumper. Leave me a comment down below with any tattoo questions you have because I would like to answer them in next week's video. But until then, I will see you guys soon. Bye.